You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. I'm your host, Trip Kramer from tripadvice.com. Welcome to another episode here. I think we're almost closing in on 300 episodes, maybe like 30, 40 away. It's crazy. Been doing this since 2014 and we ain't stopping. So welcome to a new episode. Welcome if you are very new or if you've been listening since the very beginning. Just a few updates before we get into the episode here today. I just finished writing my book called Magnetic. That's right, Magnetic, teaching you how to be a magnetic man. Get women chasing you. And I'm so excited about it. It's not for sale yet. It's going to be on Amazon. It is not there right now, but stay tuned. Hopefully in the fall, the very latest end of the year, it's going to be available and I'll make a big announcement. And if you want to know exactly when it's going to be around, well, keep listening to the podcast, or to make it easy on you, just sign up to my newsletter and you can do that. It's completely free. And I also give you a free gift. Go to tripadvice.com/chick-crack. And you're going to learn the topics of conversation that women love. So it makes conversation easy to have with the women that you talk to. So you'll get that for free. You'll be on my newsletter and then you'll get the updates when the book is released. So basically what the book is it's a combination of all the podcasts and YouTube videos that I've been doing in the past. What's it now? I think it's 2012. So 6 years. 6 years of putting out all this amazing content. And so the book is like this big kind of A to Z summary of it all. Now, if you have my program Hooked, that is another A to Z summary, but it's a little bit different because in there, there's videos and teaching you, all the steps to meet women through video format. The book is similar to that. I think Hooked is a little bit more in depth. And so the book is kind of like a lighter version, but more on the end of, you'll see some diagrams and you'll get some good explanations and some good examples of what conversation looks like when you're trying to have it with women that you're talking to. So a little bit different. I still urge you to get the program Hooked and get the book because, putting them together can be really, really powerful for you. So that's my announcement. Let's get into today's episode talking about sex. Yes, how women view sex. I think a lot of guys don't get this right. I don't blame you. I had this wrong for many, many years, and I still feel even now I'm still discovering new things about how women view sex. But I want to give you an overall idea about it. And it kind of sparked to do this episode from writing the book. One of the chapters in the book is teaching you about, how to be good in the bedroom. And one of the first things I say in there is that women like sex. Actually, women love it. Women love it. And I don't think guys are really operating under that paradigm. I don't. I think that instead they're operating under the paradigm that women do not enjoy it and they're not as into it as guys are. So right off the bat, you got to know that this is false, okay? This is 100% false. How do I know this? Well, I've talked to many women, okay? Women have told me this, right? They have told me firsthand. They love it. They enjoy it. They want it all the time. I mean, even you, if you've been in a relationship before, with a woman, I think you know that, right? She wanted to have sex as much as you did. The thing is that a woman wants to have it a lot, but she wants to have it with the right guy, with the guy who knows how to seduce her and how to trigger attraction and how to make her feel beautiful and feel safe. Okay, these are the things that a woman needs. Now, depending on where you're from, and I'll speak for America because I know a lot of the listeners are from America. I'm also from America. In America, women are, I'd say, shamed for having lots of sex, right? Like it's not cool for a woman to have multiple partners. Generally speaking, like society doesn't say, wow, that girl's had sex with like 50 to 70 to 100 guys. Like, that's awesome. No, they are called things like slut or whore, right? They're called names. They're slut shamed for being sexual or for being promiscuous. And I think that's terrible. My personal opinion is I think that's terrible. I don't think we should be looking at anyone. I don't think we should be shaming anyone for having lots of sex. Now, on the other end, men are praised for it, right? Like, it's cool. Like, yeah, I slept with all these girls. I'm so cool. Like, look at me, right? I think the whole idea of praising or shaming is just ridiculous. Like, who cares if you've had sex with a lot of people? Who cares if you haven't had sex with a lot of people? I don't even know why people are even counting, right? Well, I know why people are counting. It's an ego thing, right? Guys count because it's cool. Like, this is cool. I've had sex with this many girls, and this makes me more of a man. But it doesn't. It doesn't make you more of a man. Not at all. Okay? Not at all. What makes you more of a man is someone who can just enjoy the pleasure of a woman and do it because it's something that you enjoy to do and enjoy pleasing a woman and pleasing yourself, not to just have another woman that you've slept with. It's kind of sickening, a little bit superficial too, to just sit there and count and try to get your numbers up. Like, come on. Like, what are you? What are you, 12 years old? What are you in high school? Like, that stuff doesn't matter. So I like to come from the idea that we don't shame, we don't praise. It just is. But, I can't change things here in America. That's just how it is. It's a double standard where it's cool for guys to do it, not cool for girls to do it. So with that idea, women know this, and women know that they're slut shamed. So this makes them a little bit more hesitant to have sex with guys. Of course, not always, not always, but this is why they, as guys say, they kind of hold the keys, right? They hold the keys here. Like, it's as if like all these guys want to do it, and then girls are like, no, I get to pick, and they get to pick, and they get to choose. I see how it's viewed that way, but the reality is it's just that women are a little bit more self-conscious when it comes to picking the right person. Also, for a woman, and this is something I talked about in my Hooked program, I also talked about this in the Magnetic book coming out, is that for a woman, attraction takes time. For a man, he can see a woman and that physical attraction is like, wow, like there's all for femininity. I want to sleep with her. But for a woman, it takes more time for her to become attracted because she's attracted to the inner qualities of a man. Okay, the inner qualities is what makes up most of the attraction, because this is, going back to like caveman times. This is the primal stuff. Women were attracted to a man's personality, his inner qualities, his masculine qualities, which are like decisiveness and courageous and fearless, dominant, right? All these things that take a little bit longer for a girl to understand. Like, logically speaking, right? Like, it's going to take someone longer to get to know your personality than looking at your face, right? So for a woman, it takes a little bit longer. So she doesn't make that decision as quick. Plus, add on top of that the fact that, she knows that if she sleeps around too much, that her girlfriends might shame her and society might shame her. And she's just going to feel this shame. Like, she's going to self-create the shame about having sex with a guy or too many guys just because she hears it all the time. Okay, that's how powerful society has such a hold on us, right? So you got to remember here that this is why it kind of appears like women are holding the keys. But if we were to strip all that away, I think women would be having sex much faster, much easier, and with more people. I think they would. I think, people would be doing it more. But there's another thing too that you'll never be able to take away, is the idea that for a woman, sex is way different because she has the possibility of becoming pregnant. That's another thing you have to understand. She has the possibility of having a child. And guys don't have that, right? Guys don't have that. They can have sex with as many women as they want, and they'll never have to have a child, obviously. But for a woman, that's a risk. That's a big deal. And on this biological level, it's like she knows that. I don't think she's thinking it too consciously. I don't think women are really concerned with that these days because of birth control and, and condoms and things like that, mainly birth control. But yeah, it's still kind of like innate. She's got to be careful. That's why she's a little bit more selective, because she's got to make sure on this primal biological reptilian side of her brain that the man she is mating with is someone that could be a provider of resources, right? Someone who has all the courage and dominance and ability in the world to be able to provide for the family. Again, going back to caveman times. So with that, again, kind of coming back to the idea of it takes a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer for her to decide is this the guy I want to sleep with? So it's about safety for her, right? It's about safety, her feeling safe from the shame, safe from having a kid. And on top of that, safe from feeling shame from you. And that's a big one too. She wants to know that she's safe with you, that she doesn't feel judged when you're with her, that she doesn't feel like you think that sex is something that's going to make a girl slutty, right? If you are the one who looks at sex as in women have sex, they're sluts, men have sex and they're awesome. If you look at it like that and she has any idea that you think about it that way, why in the world is she going to want to have sex with you? She doesn't feel emotionally safe. Okay. So you need to make sure that there's no judgment behind anything that you ever say to her when it comes to sex. In fact, you should probably do the opposite and let her know that you see it in a way that is more comfortable. In fact, depending on the context of the conversation that you're having with her, you should say some of the things that I'm saying to you right now. I mean, hopefully you actually believe them, right? Don't just say it to be a manipulative bastard, but really explain to her that you feel terrible that women are shamed in society. So if you let her know that you think that you don't respect the word slut or whore, and that you see sex as something that's more open and shouldn't be either praised or shamed, letting her know that verbally and telling her that, of course, depends on, I wouldn't say that out of nowhere, depends on the conversation that's happening between you two, but saying that to her will make her feel a little bit more like, oh, okay, so I can be more free with this guy. I can be more open. And I know that if I have sex with him, he's not going to treat me like a piece of shit and that he's not going to judge me for it, right? So there's that safety. Now, of course, there's also the other safety, which is physical safety, right? Okay, there's a lot of cases of rape and sexual assault in the world, more than you could ever imagine. So a woman has to be really on guard with that and make sure that she's with a guy that's not going to do anything that she's not comfortable with. So I would say this to her when you're with her. When you guys are getting intimate, maybe you're in bed and you're kissing, maybe you're on the couch and you're kissing and you're not even half naked yet. Say to her, hey, listen, I don't want to do anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. I would say that to her. Okay, so make her feel safe physically. I don't want to do anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, when you say that to her, that gives her more freedom to know, okay, so I'm a little bit more in the driver's seat. It's an interesting balance, right? It's like you want her to be in the driver's seat to let her know, hey, the things that are going to happen tonight are going to be consensual between you and her. She knows that she's with the guy that's not going to force anything on her. Well, this is what's going to have her open up more. Okay, but the thing is as a man, she's still looking for you to lead in the bedroom. She still wants you to be the one to go for the kiss, the one to be a little bit more dominant in control. So it's that balance of showing her, hey, I'm going to be the composer, so to say, right? You're the composer of the of the sexual orchestra. I can't say that without laughing because it's really funny. You're the composer of the sexual orchestra between you two. You're the one is conducting everything here. You're in charge. But she knows, and you know, that as much as you're in charge, she has the ability to stop at any time, even if you're the one who's making all the decisions. Okay. So you're not controlling, but you're in control. And that's a very important aspect. Really, I think so far this has been one of the most important podcasts I've done in terms of, how women view sex and what sex is really like. And if you really want to blow a woman's mind in the bedroom, I highly suggest that you check out the Hooked program at getherhooked.com, because in there I do go over some sexual components. And also after you order Hooked, you get an option to get another program called 33 Magic Moves. And that is my program all about how to be amazing in the bedroom. It gives you 33 specific moves. And if you just want that, email me, trip@tripadvice.com, and we can get that program over to you. But I highly suggest that you use that and complement it with Hooked, because if you don't have any women in the bedroom, you need to learn how to do that. You got to go to Hooked, getherhooked.com, and get that. and then use it together. So hope this episode helped. This was definitely one that has been a long time coming. And I'll see you in the next episode where we'll go over even more great information and techniques for you to be the master of your dating life. Take care.